Hi there, Loy Machedo. Speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo? Think Personal Branding. Okay. Um, this is more of a very sincere message to you guys, especially those who are going, guys and girls who are going through a tough time. Okay. Now, what had happened was one of the clients. He's one of my clients who has been in touch with me like on and off here and there. So he takes my consulting services. So he is actually going through a tough time right now in terms of financially, other areas. I don't want to get into too much. So and some things are beyond his control, especially when you're talking of relationships or business or money. Not everything is in your control. So he was particularly going through all this, and on top of that, after having all these challenges in these areas, he found out he has health issues now. Okay, because with all problems come stress, mental stress, emotional stress, and that manifests itself physically. So physically now he is going through like, I wouldn't say life threatening kind of problem, but it is close to that. So he was very, very depressed when he spoke to me, and he even broke down crying, and he was telling me, I find it very tough to take things. Now, I'm one of those people who, if someone comes to me with a problem, I'm not going to tell them like, "Come on, you can do it." This motivational coach, like some people say, it's all in the mind. No, that's rubbish, because it's very easy for someone to give advice. It's very easy, for example, me to give anyone advice. But what if it were happening to me? Let's say, example. I'm just giving an example. Someone has cancer. What are you going to tell them? Hey, come on, you can fight cancer, you can beat cancer. But man, did you have cancer? Did you go through it? It's very easy to advise, right? In the same way, I've even spoken. I remember this one young man who was working in an oil rig company, newly from India, just got married, just purchased a house, taken a loan, and there was this oil rig company. There was an accident where his trouser, the coverall that he was wearing, got caught, and his leg got ripped off. He lost his leg. A young man in his 20s, and we went as a support group to visit the hospital. I remember just sitting there. He was just looking at the other side, didn't say a word. None of us said anything. We just sat down there, we smiled. Some people talked to him. His mother was there. His, wifey was there, and newly married. What to say, man? So in this video, I'm not going to give you a lecture about, come on, you can do it and all that, but I would just give you this perspective, okay? And remember, whatever tragedy, whatever problem you're going through, whether it's losing, like in Thailand, we had this shooting of this small children, no, where the small children died, man stabbed them, killed them. Whether a horrific disaster like that, or losing your loved one, or your limb, or losing your money in your business. Imagine, I've even met clients who 20 years of a successful business all gone because of someone cheated them and they got away with it, and a relationship broken up. So I'm not going to give you a quick fix. Rather, I will just give you what helped me. What helped me when I went through a tough situation. Okay, and uh, I can tell you, maybe mine is not as tough as losing a child or losing a limb or something, but this is what helped me. So I just request you take the inspiration from these 3-4 examples I give you, and I hope whatever it is you're going through, you overcome it. Okay, so these are the 4 examples that have helped me. Number 1 is, you can check out these names. I'll put it in the description. The first guy's name is Nick Vujicic, Nick. Then the second name is Vujicic. This guy was born without hands and legs. Okay, no arms and no limbs, no legs. And I remember when the girl, Anita, who I have tattooed her face here, when she just dumped me like a hot potato, I went through an emotional breakup. I used to laugh at others and think, why, you ought to be a man. If a girl dumps you, so what? You can get other girls. But I never knew I was so addicted to her that I was in love with her, or I don't know whether they got love, infatuation, or whatever. At 31, I was crazy about her. Okay. So when she dumped me, I couldn't handle it. And I went into a depression, which extreme problems was at least 4 months, being locked in the house and crying the whole time. And I think it took me 6 years to get out of it properly. So I would see, sitting and crying the whole day alone in the house, no one to talk to. It's not good. So I was searching for answers online, articles, all that. I found Nick Vujicic's video. You need to see that video. I'll put the link where he shows, he's a motivational, inspirational speaker, and he speaks about falling down and getting back up. So in this video, he physically shows that he falls down, and he says, "Oh, if I fall down, I can't get back up. How?" And then he makes fun of himself by showing his legs, and just as a stub of thing, he's just moving that. How can I get back up? So he says, no matter how much I try, I can't get back up. And then he says, you try, and finally then you want to give up. Life is too hard. And he actually shows a physical analogy of falling down, not being able to get up. But he says, when all hope is lost and when you feel you can't take it anymore, then you do get a solution. You do find hope in the most unexpected moments. And then he says, and then when you say, I will do it once again and try, then you're able to get back up. And then imagine he has no hands, no legs. With his head, with his face, his nose, he pushes himself, gets back up. It was without a doubt the most powerful example that I saw. And I was watching that video again and again and again and again until I finally got the ability to pull myself from, the self-imposed self-pity mode. Okay, so that was one, Nick Vujicic. The second example that I saw was during the same time. It was W. Mitchell, W.Mitchell. This guy, you can Google search, he is on Wikipedia. And his talk, it's very hard to get his talk. I do not know why it is hard, but one of the most powerful talks. What his message is, to give you an idea of what he went through, just a summary, I read about him in Tony Robbins' book. He was, this guy, the first injury that he got was when he was driving his motorbike, he banged into another vehicle, whereby he got third-degree burns, and it melted his fingers, it melted his everything, and even his face. Okay. And he came out of that and started his life all over again, being completely burnt. And his message to everyone was, take charge of your life, take responsibility for change. And if you thought that was finished, that was the ultimate disaster, and he lost his business, he lost his loved one. They dumped him because the female dumped him because he burnt himself and they didn't know whether he would survive. He survived that. And then after that, when he was, he had one incident, then he had a second incident. The third incident, I don't know whether he was always, getting into these incidents. The aircraft that he was piloting, it seems that ice formed at the wing and it crashed and he ended up being paralyzed. Imagine, first he burned himself, he lost his fingers, lost his business, lost the one who loved him. And when he brought his life together, now his aircraft crashed and he's paralyzed waist down. And he still didn't give up. He still continued and he came out with a very powerful talk. And the talk is titled, it's not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. I'll repeat it again. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. And he pulled himself from that also. And today he's a millionaire and he has a successful business, successful relationship, and he maintains his life. So I'm not, he was born in 1943. So he must be close to 60, 70 now. I'm not saying it's that easy, but when you see people going through even more worse than you do, then you think to yourself, man, you derive courage. The third example that I'll give you is, I just found it lately. His name is Sam, Will, Oughby, Sam Willoughby. He's a BMX champion. And I just found this video very lately. This guy was a BMX world champion, and one day, they ride their cycle and they do all these flips and stunts and all that. And when he did one of the exercise, he, I don't know, had an accident because of which he got paralyzed, waist down, and how he had to uh, re sort out his life, everything from even going to the toilet to not being able to get up by himself, to give bath to himself, and how he gave himself hope and a reason to live. In fact, uh, one other example I'll give you is this one is, I know maybe I'm giving you too many examples, but I just genuinely want to help you. 1 minute. Uh, I'll tell you this surfing champion accident, surfing champion accident, surfing champion accident. This guy, you can Google search this. I'll put the link below. His name is Billy Kemper, Billykemper. He had an accident in the wave. I just watched this. This is World Surf League. It has 1.9 million views. So he had an accident whereby the wave, which was very powerful, crashed on him. And he's a champion from as a small child. It broke his waist and it broke his legs. And how during the COVID, which was a lockdown, and they were refusing to even take him for treatment, and how he would almost die with lung infection, and how he faced his fears and overcame. Billy Kemper, I want you to watch that link. Very inspirational, powerful story. Okay, and last but not the least, the most powerful example I can give you is this one has 77 million views. It's taken from the channel Real Stories. This one is very powerful. This one, his name is Alex Lewis, Alexlewis. If you see the video, you'll see him like having a big lip. You'll think, is it a clown or something? But this guy, he got into a shock. Okay, he got into a toxic shock. A guy with perfect hands, perfect legs, very good looking, and he lost both his limbs, uh, arms and legs, and he lost parts of his face, his mouth, because he went into a toxic shock. And imagine throughout your life, till your 30s, you have your arms and legs, and you have children and your wife and everything. And now all of a sudden, you get a flu and your entire arms become black and legs become black and you can't move them. And then your face, the infection goes to your face. And the only way to survive is to cut. And first they cut his arm, then they realize infection is spreading. They had to cut off his elbow, then they had to cut off his other arm, then they had to cut off his leg, then other leg, and then face, mouth. And he survived it. I mean, he had just had caught a cold and this destroys him. So, and how he made a comeback, which is even more shocking, and how his wife was able to support him. I think, without a doubt, if you see these five documentaries, or you see the lives of these five incredible human beings, you'll really think to yourself, man, what is the excuse I'm giving? See, I'll tell you, day to day, there are so many examples like a housewife who loses her husband, and then she has to take care of her and her children. A husband who loses his loved ones, or there are a couple who lose their child, or there are people who lose their business, or the people who lose their health. So many examples. I'm not wishing for anything better, and it's very easy. I'm telling you again, it's very easy for me to talk and give you big gyan and stories and motivational stuff. I'm telling you, even day to day, I face challenges. And I'm afraid. Like you, I'm also very afraid. Whether it's an accident, whether it's a disaster, whether it's challenges. But sometimes it feels good that you can take inspiration from other people and see, when you see that they are going through so much hardship and they're still able to overcome it, then you look deep down and say, why can't I? So I just wanted to share this video and tell you that, if you're going through a tough time, if you're having a really tough time, sometimes seek inspiration from people like these. And, if you guys have anything inspirational, any video or any recommendation, feel free to put it down below and share those examples, because sometimes I feel with all the challenges that life throws at you, with all the hardships that we have, sometimes when you get a little bit of inspiration, it can really make a big difference. So I just wanted to share this video with you with tales of inspiration. Let me know what do you think, and do share inspirational stories or messages that can help others. Maybe someone who's depressed would be seeing this. I just hope that these stories, inspire them to achieve greatness. Anyway, having said that, good, bad, ugly, do comment below. And if you're going through a tough time, I just tell you that stay strong, have courage, and I can definitely assure you that in time, even you will make out of it. Just don't lose hope. Reach out to someone and you'll do it. All right. Having said that, you guys take care. This is me signing off.